Hello, my amazing artists. Today we will be creating an artwork using the elements of art, focusing on line and shape. Our learning intention for this project is to identify and create basic lines, shapes, and patterns in art and create a two-dimensional artwork inspired by the Portuguese artist Ad Fuel. Our criteria for success will be to identify different types of lines, recognize that lines and shapes can be used to create emotion and patterns, and identify and create basic shapes, lines, and patterns in our artwork. Let's review the elements of art. The elements of art are the basic ingredients that you need to make any work of art. They are line, shape, color, value, form, texture, and space. To begin this lesson, let's identify various types of lines. There are our straight directional lines, vertical, horizontal, diagonal, dotted or dashed lines, thick and thin lines, curved, wavy, crisscross, spiral, looping, zigzag, and painterly lines that we can create with color pencils. Let's also review shapes in art. There are regular or geometric shapes. These are the shapes that we know the names of and we can use tools to draw them, like circles, squares, triangles, rectangles, and more. There are also irregular shapes or organic shapes. These are nature shapes. Shapes that don't have names, don't follow rules, and we do not use tools to draw them. We can use these lines and shapes to create patterns in art by repeating them. Patterns are made with repeating lines and shapes. If you look at this artwork, you will see that the lines and shapes are all radiating from a center point, and the pattern repeats all the way around the center point. We will practice making patterns around a center point in our artwork today too. Now allow me to introduce to you Diogo Machado, also known as Ad Fuel. He is a Portuguese visual artist and street artist. He lives and works in his hometown and enjoys displaying his murals and urban street works for all to see. He is a contemporary artist, which means he is still alive creating art today. He went to art school to learn graphic design and digital animation, and you can see the influence of that in his other interests in his work. Ad Fuel creates artworks of balance and harmony with patterns and colors inspired by the tile culture in Portugal. These classical tiles are a huge part of Portuguese history and part of the charm of Portugal. When asked why he chose the name Ad Fuel, he says that it's an abbreviation for the expression add fuel to the fire, which he liked to use as his name for some of his works. Walking through the streets of Portugal, you will see beautiful blue hand-painted tiles on the inside and outside of buildings. Diogo Machado, or also known as Ad Fuel, which is his artist's name, loves to create artwork inspired by these beautiful blue tiles. Check out all of the amazing patterns that you see in these traditional Portuguese tiles. I see lines, shapes, and colors repeating in each tile. Looking closely at Ad Fuel's artwork, what do you notice? Do you see lines, shapes, and patterns? Do you see many different types of lines? Can these be used to create different emotions? Is his artwork serious, or is it kind of funny? Do you see any hidden characters or illustrations in his work? Do you see repeated lines and shapes that make patterns? Which one of these two tiles do you think was created by Add Fuel? The first one or the second one? If you said the first one, you are correct. How do I know this? Because I see little hidden characters, multiple designs, and those really cool cracks that he uses in his artwork. Let's create a tile design inspired by the Portuguese artist Add Fuel. We will use lines and shapes to create a pattern repeating from a center point. We will also add a fun hidden illustration in our designs. Okay, let's get started. Looking at traditional tile designs, you will see that each one is a square. I have a square piece of paper and I'm going to put my name on the back of it and fold it in half, matching up the corners and just pressing the crease down the middle. And then I'm going to fold it in half again, match up the corners, and press the crease in the middle. Each little tile is going to have a repeated design in each square. You're going to repeat the same pattern 4 times. So when I open up my piece of paper, I will have 4 sections, 4 squares. I'm going to draw a very light pencil line down the middle and in the other direction so that you can see my 4 squares clearly. Now I'm going to start to create my pattern, and again, I want it the same all the way around. I want my pattern to be the same all the way around my center point. So I just added a circle, and I'm going to put a heart. Now I'm going to repeat it 3 more times. Another heart, and another heart. So you can see I did it 4 times. And you're going to do that for any shape or line. For the regular or geometric shapes, you can use tools like stencils and rulers to add shapes and lines to your drawing. I'm going to use some stencils to add some geometric shapes like a rhombus or a diamond here. But you can also add organic shapes or freeform shapes. If you look at Add Fuel's artwork, you'll see that he adds a lot of geometric and organic shapes to create his little characters and designs in his artwork. Just have fun making patterns, and I cannot wait to see what you come up with. Yesterday, we learned about the Portuguese street artist Add Fuel, whose real name is Diogo Machado. Add Fuel creates beautiful patterned works inspired by Portuguese tile culture. His work includes traditional designs and patterns, but also some fun elements and illustrations in each piece. When looking at his work, I see that he uses a lot of blue. In fact, his paintings are almost completely blue. We can say that they are mono, which means one, chromatic, which means color. Monochromatic, a one-color painting. Getting inspired by Add Fuel, we are also going to be creating a monochromatic, one-color artwork using blue. Once you have your design completely drawn out and your pattern is repeated 4 times all the way around the center point, then you will be ready to start tracing your pencil marks. For this project, instead of using a black Sharpie, we are going to be using a blue marker to trace our lines, keeping it in theme with Add Fuel's work. Now that we've learned about the Portuguese street artist Ad Fuel or Diogo Machado, and we have created our patterned tile design using pencil and tracing with a blue Sharpie, we are going to begin adding value to our artwork. Value is the lightness or darkness of a color. Tints are when we have a lighter version of a color by adding white, and shades are when we have a darker version of a color by adding black. When I look closely at Ad Fuel's artwork, I notice that he only uses one color, blue, but I see that he uses many different values of blue. I see light blue, dark blue, teal blue, sky blue. He must be an expert at mixing different colors of paint. When you are adding color to your artwork today, I want you to use a variety of different values. You have many different types of blue crayons, color pencils, and markers at your table to use in your work. Don't just pick up one marker and try to color the whole thing. Use a variety of different materials. These are going to be so awesome. I cannot wait to see how they turn out. Have fun creating.